Prophet Robbie Warren has just dropped a bombshell on Brian Carn, Sheard, and Bishop Gates, shaking the very core of holiness standards within the church. What shocking truths did she uncover, and why is this rattling the entire gospel community? The controversy unraveling right now is almost unbelievable. Stick around, because this is the kind of real talk they'd rather you didn't hear. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we're diving headfirst into a storm that's shaking the gospel world to its roots. Prophet Robbie Warren has gone all in, and we mean all in on some of the most prominent names in gospel music: Brian Carn, Sheard, and Bishop Gates. The issue at the center: holiness standards. But this isn't just some typical church dispute. Robbie's fiery words directly confront long-standing beliefs, calling out what she sees as a dangerous compromise and watering down of the holiness message. You won't believe the bold accusations she's made, the heated reactions they've sparked, and how this clash is splitting fans and believers right down the middle. In this video, we'll unpack exactly what Prophet Robbie said, the meaning behind her statements, and how the gospel world has responded. Plus, we'll bring you exclusive insider details you won't get anywhere else. So if you're looking for the full truth behind this gospel showdown, stay tuned because it's about to get intense. Before we get into the controversy itself, it's crucial to understand who Prophet Robbie Warren is and why her words hold such weight in gospel circles. Robbie Warren is a recognized prophetic voice, a minister known for her fearless approach and uncompromising messages. She's built a loyal following through her passionate preaching, sharp prophetic insights, and willingness to tackle difficult issues directly, especially those concerning holiness and spiritual integrity. Her ministry focuses on bringing believers back to the foundational principles of holiness, righteousness, and steadfast dedication to God's standards. Robbie is not one to avoid calling out spiritual compromise. She has often spoken out about what she sees as a drifting away from genuine biblical holiness. Because of this reputation, when she speaks, many in the gospel world pay attention, though not everyone agrees with her tone or her approach. Some see her as a much-needed prophetic voice, while others view her as divisive. This background is vital because it explains why her recent comments about Brian Carn, Sheard, and Bishop Gates have stirred such intense backlash. These weren't casual jabs, they were rooted in deep conviction and carried the power to shake the image of some of gospel's most respected leaders. In the next section, we'll break down exactly what Robbie said, the holiness standards she believes are under threat, and why her words have caused such an uproar in the community. Prophet Robbie Warren's latest remarks have truly sent tremors through the gospel music scene, all revolving around one issue: holiness standards.
But what exactly did she say that set off such intense debate? In her blunt and unapologetic message, Robbie accused Brian Carn, Sheard, and Bishop Gates of compromising the very holiness standards she believes the church is called to uphold. She openly challenged their lifestyles, ministry decisions, and even questioned whether their actions truly aligned with the biblical definition of holiness. Robbie contended that the modern church has grown far too lenient, letting cultural trends and personal ambitions dilute the sacred call to holiness. She stressed that genuine holiness demands sacrifice, discipline, and a refusal to embrace worldly behavior as qualities she fears are being neglected by certain leaders in the gospel arena. She specifically called out these gospel heavyweights for what she sees as a failure to embody these principles, pointing to moments where she believed they had compromised either through personal conduct or ministry messaging. While she didn't publicly list every instance, both supporters and critics quickly began drawing their own conclusions, delivering her comments with a sense of prophetic urgency. Robbie warned that compromising holiness standards could bring serious spiritual consequences, not only for those directly involved, but for the wider church body as well. This direct challenge set off a chain reaction, with many fans of Brian Carn, Sheard, and Bishop Gates feeling the need to respond. Some rushed to defend their favorite artist, while others questioned Robbie's stern tone. The gospel world is now divided, with supporters praising Robbie Warren's boldness in speaking truth and demanding accountability, and detractors accusing her of stirring division and passing judgment. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. Behind the public words, there are murmurs of deeper conflict. Some insiders hint that this clash could be part of a much larger power struggle within the gospel ministry scene. In the next part, We'll break down how Brian Carn, Sheard, and Bishop Gates have reacted to these charges and what their responses reveal about the ongoing battle over holiness and influence. Following Prophet Robbie Warren's bold, no-holds-barred critique, the gospel world was eager to hear from the three central figures in the storm: Brian Carn, Sheard, and Bishop Gates. Their words, their reactions, and even their silence have all been key in shaping how this drama unfolds. Brian Carn's response, known for his powerful vocal presence and long-standing influence in gospel music, Carn took a calm and measured route in his public statements. He affirmed his commitment to personal holiness and to leading by example through both his music and ministry. Carn admitted that no one is without fault, but underscored the importance of grace and the ongoing journey of growth in faith. He urged unity among gospel artists, emphasizing that while accountability is essential, it must be paired with love and understanding. To many, his response seemed aimed at lowering tensions while reinforcing his spiritual credibility. Sheard's stance. Pastor and gospel artist Sheard responded with humility and thoughtfulness. In interviews and social media posts, he acknowledged the need for personal self-examination. He expressed that he was open to prophetic correction, yet also raised concerns about the timing and public nature of Robbie Warren's remarks, hinting that such matters might be more appropriately addressed privately within the church body. His stance resonated with those who prefer restorative dialogue over public confrontation, but it also reignited the discussion about whether transparency or discretion is the better path when holding leaders to account. Bishop Gates' position. Bishop Gates, a highly respected and influential voice in gospel circles, opted for a more reserved approach. While he hasn't released a lengthy public statement responding to the accusations, insiders report that he's been addressing the concerns behind closed doors and focusing on prayerful discernment. His public silence has been interpreted in different ways. To some, it reflects wisdom and strength. To others, it appears to be avoidance. The bigger picture, these different responses shed light on a deeper tension in the gospel world, finding the balance between the call to holiness and accountability, and the need for grace, unity, and respect for individual spiritual journeys. Robbie Warren's accusations have pulled back the curtain on these complex dynamics, forcing believers, leaders, and artists to wrestle with hard questions. How do we preserve high spiritual standards without tearing down those we admire? When is public accountability a necessity, and when does it cross into unnecessary division? Beyond that, this controversy highlights a much broader challenge: how gospel ministries navigate public scrutiny, human imperfection, and the heavy expectations placed on spiritual figures. And here's the twist: rumors suggest this isn't over. There may be more revelations to come, with other gospel figures preparing to speak up, and possibly unseen forces at work behind the scenes. Next, we'll examine how the gospel community and its fans are reacting, and how this dispute over holiness could reshape the future of gospel music and ministry culture. The fallout from Prophet Robbie Warren's explosive critique hasn't just shaken the accused leaders, it's sent ripples through the entire gospel community. Fans, fellow ministers, and industry insiders are all weighing in, sparking conversations that stretch far beyond the original accusations. Fan reactions, divided loyalties, and heated debates. Social media has become the battleground where supporters on both sides fiercely defend their positions. On one side, many praise Robbie Warren's courage, calling her a fearless truth-teller who refuses to ignore what she sees as compromise. These supporters insist that gospel music and ministry must hold fast to the highest standards to remain authentic and powerful. On the flip side, a significant part of the gospel audience feels Robbie's delivery is too severe and divisive. They argue that the leaders in question have made invaluable contributions to the gospel landscape, and that public rebuke could harm the unity of the church. This group calls for grace, understanding, and private accountability rather than open confrontation. The debates have even spilled over into live streams, fan forums, and comment sections, revealing just how deeply invested people are in this issue. Fellow ministers and industry voices weigh in. It's not just fans taking sides. Ministers and gospel industry figures are also speaking out. Some leaders have publicly supported Robbie Warren's stand on holiness, stressing the need for prophetic voices to challenge complacency. Others, however, urge caution, warning that public disputes can fracture the very unity they aim to protect. They warn that the church's witness can suffer when internal disagreements are played out on public platforms. Many advocate for reconciliation and behind-the-scenes dialogue to maintain unity and keep the focus on the gospel's message. This divide highlights a broader tension within religious communities over how criticism and accountability should be handled. It's a delicate balancing act between speaking truth and preserving fellowship. Broader implications for gospel music and ministry culture. This controversy goes far beyond personalities clashing. It marks a pivotal moment for gospel music and ministry, raising important questions about what holiness means in today's world and how spiritual leaders should respond to public scrutiny. Is holiness an outdated expectation, or is it a non-negotiable foundation? How can ministers reconcile human imperfection with the expectations of their congregations and fans? What role does cultural relevance play without compromising biblical principles? The answers to these questions will shape not only individual ministries but also the future trajectory of gospel music as a genre and the church's influence in society. What's next? As this conversation continues, many are watching to see whether it will spark meaningful reform or deepen existing divisions. Will it motivate gospel leaders to recommit to holiness in impactful ways, or will it fuel ongoing conflicts that distract from the core mission? Here's a suspenseful note. Insiders hint at upcoming projects and collaborations that could either heal old wounds or reopen them, suggesting that the fallout from this dispute may ripple through the gospel community for months to come. In the next section, we'll examine the lessons to be learned from this controversy and what every believer and gospel fan should take away moving forward. As the dust settles on this heated debate, it's important to reflect on the deeper lessons embedded in Prophet Robbie Warren's confrontation with Brian Carn, Sheard, and Bishop Gates. Beyond the drama and public quarrel, there are meaningful insights for believers, leaders, and gospel music fans alike. 1. The unyielding call to holiness. At the heart of Robbie Warren's message is a timeless truth. Holiness remains central to the Christian faith. In an age when cultural trends often influence church practices, her bold stand reminds us that holiness is not negotiable. To be holy means to live a life set apart, characterized by integrity, obedience, and dedication to God's standards. Her message challenges both leaders and followers to examine their actions and motives, holding fast to spiritual disciplines that honor God, whether one agrees with Robbie's methods or not. Her insistence on returning to these foundational principles encouraged the church to pause and reflect on whether it is truly embodying holiness in today's world. 2. The importance of accountability. This controversy underscores the vital need for accountability in ministry. Spiritual leaders hold great influence, and with that influence comes great responsibility. Robbie's accusations, though controversial, emphasize the essential role of prophetic voices that keep leaders accountable, not to tear them down, but to build them up in truth. Accountability should always be approached with humility and grace, fostering spaces where leaders can grow without the fear of unfair judgment. At the same time, it must be firm enough to address genuine compromises or failures, preserving the credibility of the gospel. Witness 3. The balance between truth and grace. One of the hardest lessons from this controversy is learning how to weigh truth-telling with grace. Robbie Warren's unfiltered critique sparked critical conversations, but it also drew criticism for its tone and public delivery. The church must discover ways to confront difficult realities while lovingly avoiding unnecessary division. This involves creating dialogue that encourages repentance and restoration rather than judgment and alienation. 4. Navigating public scrutiny in the digital age. The gospel community now exists under the intense spotlight of social media and gospel media and instantaneous communication. Every statement, misstep, or disagreement can be magnified to millions in mere moments. This reality requires wisdom from both leaders and followers, the wisdom to respond thoughtfully, avoid knee-jerk reactions, and seek understanding amid controversy. 5. The power of prophetic voices. Finally, Robbie Warren's role serves as a reminder of the critical place prophetic voices hold in the church. Prophets call the body to accountability, often speaking the uncomfortable truths others avoid. While their methods may not always be universally accepted, prophetic voices challenge complacency and inspire renewal, ensuring the church continually strives toward its highest calling. This controversy isn't just about individuals. It's a call to the entire gospel community to recommit to holiness, accountability, and unity. It invites believers to wrestle honestly with difficult issues, fostering growth and transformation as the drama unfolds. Stay engaged, stay informed, and, above all, keep your heart open to the lessons God may be teaching through these challenging moments.